Happy 2026, guys. Everyone's been saying that 2026 is going to be the revamped 2016, especially in terms of like makeup and beauty community. Girl, let's not even, but you know. Trying to just get back to those wholesome, nostalgic vibes of just playing with color, playing with makeup, having fun, and enjoying life a little bit more. I'm sure y'all saw the Pantone color of the year. What was it, like ballet dancer white or something like that? Hold on. Cloud dancer. I'm sure a lot of us were a little bit like, did y'all not read the room when you decided to pick white as the color of the year? I fully subscribe to the idea that, at least on my side of the internet, I'm not sure how collectively everyone has agreed to this, that the colors, I believe it's Transformative Teal and Rebel Pink, are instead going to be our decided colors of 2026. And I love that. So I thought I would do a makeup look inspired by those two colors. I recently, for New Year's Eve, I did this look inspired by Andy Ray MUA on Instagram. I am obsessed with it. I'm that type of person that once I have like a style or a shape, especially in terms of eyeshadow that I really like, one of my favorite things to do is to just take that blueprint and use different colors for the same like concept, but you can still have fun and like do it a little different. So I want to take this look that I already did on New Year's more specifically to the color scheme that he did, but now I'm gonna use Transformative Teal and Rebel Pink instead. I'm super excited. I already picked out like the palettes that I'm going to dip into. Let me show y'all. I have my Rotten collection, the May Pang X Blend Buddy collaboration. It's a matte eyeshadow palette that looks like this. I've already kind of dipped into this before and I'm obsessed and honestly reach for it anytime I'm looking for like some interesting colors. But also there's these iridescent shimmers. I think this is pronounced effervescence, but it's got these gorgeous iridescent colors. I still have the plastic over it because frankly, with shimmer shadows, I have the worst luck with them like falling out of the pan. So I'm keeping both parts of the plastic protection. But there is like a pink and a teal one in here. I'm for sure gonna use the pink for this, and then I might like touch into the teal a little bit. And then because I don't necessarily have like a true teal shade in the Rotten palette, I'm going to also use my ColourPop Matte About You palette. And I'm more specifically, once again, I don't really have like a true teal. So I'm gonna try to like dip into like these lighter blues and probably dip a little bit in the green. We're gonna use what I have, okay? Because also in 2026, I think part of the 2016 vibes that we should be like prioritizing and focusing on is 2016. Yes, there was still product pushing and consumerism, but it was not what it is now. Like influencers were not necessarily as like, you need to buy this specific thing in order to do this specific look. It was more of like, you were still just using what you had. I mean, don't get me wrong, like Morphe was like huge back then. Even in like the early 2010s, it was all still pretty big of like, you know, using this specific palette and stuff like that. But for the most part, we were all using what we had. So with that, I feel like we could do less product pushing and more just like concept art and recreating with what you have. And of course, like still like giving reviews of products that are actually good, but not necessarily pushing product as much. That's my personal opinion. Also, I think I'm gonna use like some eyeliners. I have these ColourPop cream gel liners. These are like, I bought like the set of like the colorful ones, so that way I could use them for like colorful looks. And I'm gonna mix together for like the tealy color. Let's see, this one is Crystal Crush, so more of like a blue shimmer metallic, and then Icebreaker, which is a matte light like sea foamy green. And then I have a plan to use this light pink one. This is Calabasas in their metallic. So those are the products that I'm gonna be using. And I'll be sure to mention like shade names if you do have any of this stuff and want to use them specifically. Okay, I'm gonna try this kind of a setup. I feel like usually when I do my makeup, when I'm filming like my makeup, I do it this way. I don't know. I just feel like this actually makes a little more sense. My makeup is all like over here on this side of me though, so I don't know if that's why, because I'm gonna be like doing one of these. But also I kind of want to put music and like a YouTube video on in the background. Normally I feel like I would do one eye and make sure that I know what I'm doing, but we're just gonna try. Okay, I've got my tape. Now I feel like the hardest part is always making them like even. Like I said, I don't have like a true like perfect teal. I'm thinking if I mix these two shades of green and blue together and then blend it out with a lighter shade in my Rotten palette, that will be the best. So I'm gonna dip between Stop and Biker in my Mad About Hue palette, and we're gonna keep this really close here while blending it up as well. So you kind of want to drag it out because this look is very like blown out and smoky. I feel like you can kind of tell like it's starting to kind of give teal a little bit more. And then we're gonna do the same thing in this inner half of your eye. Actually, I'm not gonna use the darker one on the inner half there quite yet. I kind of started to, but we're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna take another fluffy brush and we're gonna dip into the Rotten palette, and I'm gonna use Spoil, and I'm gonna use this to kind of help blend everything, and I feel like this is really going to help make it feel a little bit more teal. So bringing this like higher up towards our brow bone, but also I'm putting it kind of on top to help kind of soften and work into the colors that we've got going on. And then I'm going to use that in the inner half of my eye, because I feel like this color will just look a little bit better with the look that we're going to have going on. It'll make more sense once you see because we have like a little bit of, it'll be like a cut crease, but a little bit different of a cut crease. Okay, so now I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other eye. I think that looks really good to start. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a flat brush. What I'm going to do is start with that Biker shade, and I'm going to use that on a little flat brush. And this is where like the cut crease is going to come in, and why I wanted like a lighter color here in the front. So we're gonna take this, and from my inner corner, I'm essentially going to map out like a little half circle right above where my natural crease is. Because the thing with the cut crease is if you just put it right in your crease, you're not really gonna see the cut crease. You want it slightly above so that way it can be seen even when you're looking straight ahead. And now this will be different for everyone based on your eye shape. Like I said, the best thing you can do is just try to like play around with mapping out how your cut crease should go. So for me, I'm gonna start here in my inner corner, and I'm just gonna trace, right, it's kind of hard to see because I'm using a blue that's very similar to what I was using, but you're gonna just take it and draw a line like that, like right above. That's kind of a thick line, I'm not gonna lie. You wanna fill in this little inner half of your eye or little inner corner with just the flat side of your brush. So if you look, we've got a line going up, but then we're filling in this little section. I hope I can zoom in enough so you can actually kind of more so see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna take just this little fluffy, it's like a super soft, this is the Morphe M562 brush, and we're gonna just use this to kind of blend and soften that. I want the line to be pretty defined though. So I'm almost like stamping it to make sure that it's a clear-cut line, but you can kind of see now the differentiation from the color here versus the line. That's why I wanted that shadow to be light first, and you're using whatever deepening color you're using. So if you have like a true teal, you'd want to use the true teal and then a lighter shade of like a light blue for the blend out. I don't know if any of what I just said made any sense, but maybe if I do it a second time, it will make a little bit more sense. So taking that blue, looking at my eye, I have this like flat section of my eye, so I'm going to take it from my inner corner and make a line right above where my crease is, okay? Take our little blending brush and just very softly blend it. I don't want to blend it up into here as much as maybe down, if that makes sense, because you don't want to erase that light color that we had going on there. And then with my eye like slightly closed, I'm going to fill in the like inner quarter of my eye. Okay, so now at this point, we're going to start adding in the pink. Now I want the pink essentially all of this in the center, and then it'll also kind of like blend together with everything. So both palettes have some pink shades. In my ColourPop palette, the Crazy, what's it called? Crazy Cool. This is more of like a true like bubblegummy pink. And the Rotten palette has this Acrimonium shade that's more of like a really light pink. I'm gonna use both. I'm gonna use this little like flat packing brush, and I'm going to use the ColourPop one first. And I'm just going to start in the dead center of my eye and then slowly kind of blend it in to where our inner and outer part of the eye goes. Oh my god, cute! See, I love how those colors look together. Now in the Rotten palette, Acrimonium, I'm going to put that on top just to kind of soften the pink a little bit. Less of like a salmony pink and a little bit more of this like light in between. Oh, that's so pretty. This is why I wanted to bring her, because now we're going to use that pink iridescent shimmer, I believe, yeah, in the shade Bloom, this one right like in the center. I'm just going to use my finger and tap right on top of that pink. Look at that pink reflex. Guys, it looks so good already. I'm thoroughly so happy with this look. Okay, we're going to cut our cut crease, if that makes sense. So if you have like a eyeshadow pigment, I want to pick up the Danessa Myricks little, I forget exactly what they're called, but the eyeshadow pigments and some About Face ones to try both, but I just don't have any. But for now, I'm going to use some concealer. You can take concealer and mix it with some eyeshadow. This is going to be a little bit traumatizing for some people. I'm going to take the end of my brush and just scrape off some of my eyeshadow and make my own colored pigment. So I just picked like the lightest concealer that I have, and then I just used that ColourPop palette because I'll be honest, I'm not gonna use my Rotten palette for this. And so now we're going to trace a line right above that line we made with the teal. I need space for this because I need to brace myself, okay? You might not be able to see what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna, maybe if I do it this way. I'm gonna use a little bit of a thicker brush for the tip because I want it to kind of go thick and then thin like that. Now we're gonna take it, blend it into our brow bone, and I'm just gonna use my finger to help me kind of blend that out a little softer. And then we'll put shadow on top too to kind of help with that blend. But I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye and maybe you'll be able to see that a little bit better. I'm gonna set it with Acrimonium. Since I did use concealer, I don't wanna like not set it in place. I'm going to take the same brush that we used to make the pink here. I'm gonna use mostly Acrimonium, and I'm gonna put it on the brow bone because I want it to be a little bit lighter pink. Back into the Efflorescence one with Bloom, just with my finger. And then because I'm extra, I'm gonna take that light pink ColourPop eyeliner in Calabasas, and I'm going to use this to trace over the line that we made in pink because this is just a light iridescent pink shade. Here, I can show you. It's just like a light iridescent pink. It's honestly kind of looks a little bit more white. And then I do plan on, when I do the lower lash line, I'm probably going to connect this pink down into the inner corner a little bit too. But I'm going to go ahead and, oh here, let's remove our tape. Gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and do like my base. And then once I'm ready to finish up the lower lash line and do lips, I'll be back. This is how we're looking. It looks so good. Genuinely feel like I entered a flow state when I started doing the rest, especially when I got to the blush. If you're curious, because it's my first time using it and I actually really like how it looks, I used the Sephora Collection Blush palette. It's their like copycat version of the one size, more like everyone's been coming out with this where it's like the cream, the powder, and then also the shimmer. Oh, I totally just shoved my nail in that. But the cream, the matte blush, and then a shimmery blush. I used the cream as well as the shimmery blush, and I think it looks really good. And I did a touch of the what's this? CoverGirl True Blend Skin Enhancer in Bubblegum Pop. I had just a little bit of this, so I did the creams first and then a set all on my face, and then I just used the shimmer blush in the Sephora palette. Let's finish up these eyes. So I'm gonna try to mix these two eyeliners in my waterline. Oh, this one is Crystal Crush. It's like more of a blue first, and then we're gonna put Icebreaker on top. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be like, you know, a little bit closer. I think I'm gonna kind of like just dip a little bit into those same colors that I used before, and we're gonna use that same flat brush because we're gonna keep this really concentrated to that waterline. So what was it? Biker and Stop. Keep it close to the lash line like that. We're gonna use this into Spoil in the Rotten palette and use that to smoke it out, and that'll help soften it while keeping that teal color that we want. Beautiful. Okay, and then like I said earlier, I want to kind of, I shouldn't have, but I wiped away the pink that I made, but if you still have that, like just use that. I'm gonna try just building up this eyeliner and seeing how much work I can have her do in this inner corner, just to kind of connect everything together. I was gonna use my Kilowatt, but I think since this has a clear, does this have a clear base to it? You know what, it does. We're gonna use that as our highlighter on our cheeks, just like that, a little on the center of my nose. Lately I've been liking to put blush right here, kind of homage to Zara Larsson's makeup artist Sophia Sinot, I think is her name. And then I'll use my Fenty Kilowatt in What a Brat, and I'm just gonna layer that too, because this is also like really pretty, and it's a little bit more like icy pink. So I think I'm gonna tightline, and then I think I'm gonna put a lash on, because this is not the type of look for natural lashes, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is the type of look that needs a big mama lash. I'm gonna tightline with black, and then for lashes, what do I have? These weightless Sephora ones. I think the Sephora ones are the way to go. So Sephora, oh my god guys, I don't think I have lash glue though. I don't have lash glue. My lash glue, because I have not worn lashes in so long. So my lash glue was hella dried out. No. I could go pick up some lash glue. This is gonna be so extra of me, but I think I need to go get some lash glue. The CVS is literally down the street from me. It's really not even that serious. Y'all hear that? It is pouring rain, but I have my goods. And I've got my Stranger Things hoodie on. Let's go. I have returned from my travels. And then I wear glasses and I was so mad because like my nose is gonna be mixed up. So I'm gonna have to fix that. But I got my goods. Part of why I was like, you know what, I just will go to CVS is because I actually printed out my vision board for my journal and I just hadn't picked it up yet. So I was like, you know what, this is an excuse to go and pick that up. So I usually always get the green duo, but I saw they also have this quick set lash glue. It's also latex free and it dries clear just like this one does. So I figured like, and it's the brush tip just like this one. So I think it's just supposed to dry faster. So I thought I would get that one and try it because I'm not going anywhere. So it's okay if it doesn't, like, my lashes don't like last or anything. Let me take this hoodie off and fix my nose bridge and then we'll carry on. So one product actually that I saw that I actually am kind of curious about trying. They started carrying minis of Kimchi Chic products, and this is the That White powder. And I'm pretty sure it's their white setting powder, like a loose powder tissue. So cute. Oh my god, it is. Okay, cool. Because I kind of want a little bit more like brightness, like the very under of my eyes a little bit more, because why not? So I'm gonna take my like little under eye brush. I'm really curious how white and brightening this is gonna be. So I'm gonna put this like right in here. Oh yeah, I do see a difference. I wouldn't use it probably like every day unless you like that super white, bright, but I could see like using it for either really dramatic looks or if you are pretty selective, just brightened it up without looking too intense. I think if you used like like a powder puff or something, you could get even more like pigment. But anyway, I'm gonna finally put on my lashes and then we'll do the lip combo together real quick. Okay, let's finish this look because this honestly is taking me way longer than I thought it was going to. So for the lip, actually while I was at CVS, I tried to look for like a pink lipstick, but I honestly don't really have much. But I think I might just honestly use like those blushes that I was using and some concealer and just DIY sort of kind of the type of thing. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna use the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in Moonwalk first because I think I want to go a little bit more like cool tone to kind of go with like the teal and the pink that we've got going on. Then I think I'm gonna try the color or CoverGirl. I keep wanting to call this ColourPop. I think I'm gonna use the CoverGirl one because this one's more of like a bubblegummy shade, and I'm curious if this is going to like fade out like how I want it to. Yeah. And then I think to like lighten it up, just a touch of concealer. Okay, that's a little too light for me, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. Cute. I want to warm it up just a little bit, so I think I'm gonna use that Sephora blush. That's what I was trying to go for. I'm gonna first use the Revlon Super Lustrous Gloss in Sky Pink. And then a little of the e.l.f. candy coated, or the e.l.f. Glow Reviver lip oil in candy coated, because this is pink with a little bit of like some tealy blue purple shimmers in it. Is that good or is it a little too light? I can't tell if it's just out of my comfort zone or if it just looks bad. I feel like the concealer made it a little bit too light, so I'm gonna redo it without the concealer. Yeah, see, this is, if I'm gonna do a pink lip, it can't be too light. I don't know, maybe it's just me. My skin tone, I feel like light colors like that wash me out and just don't look good. Like when it's a little bit too light, like a concealer lip is just not in the cards for me. But this, all I did was I used the same lip liner and I used the CoverGirl blush. I didn't use the Sephora blush on top because I didn't add the concealer, so it wasn't too light. And then I used the two glosses, and I'm so proud of this look. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm kind of living for this. And the lash, chef's kiss, absolutely pulled the eye together 100%. Like, so this is my finished look using the 2026 Transformative Teal and Rebel Pink. I'm obsessed with it. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this. And yeah, this year I feel like I said this last year for a fact, but this year I am actually coming for my creative makeup career. Like that is like my main priority of the year. My friends and I, we did the, if you guys saw online, it kind of went a little viral. There's like a German tradition on the winter solstice where you write out 12 or 13, I've seen different versions, but 12 or 13 like wishes or like goals, affirmations, manifestations, whatever you want to call it, for the year. And every night starting on the winter solstice, you burn one until you get to the very last one, which depending on if you did 12 or 13 will be on the first or the second. And that's going to be like the main thing that you focus on in the new year. And the other things that were burned, you just leave for the universe to provide and work on. Obviously, you still work on everything because manifesting only works if you put the work in, but the one that you read that's left at the end is like your main priority of what you should be focusing on. And mine for 2026, oh, I forget exactly how I phrased it. It was like letting my creativity flourish and focus on content creation, because that's always been like my dream job or just dream thing to do ever since I was like in high school when I first, or even middle school when I first like got into YouTube back in like 2011. So anyway, long story short, expect to see a lot more of me, especially on across all my social medias. Everything will be linked in the description below. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. And here's some more color in 2026 as well. We're going to be playing around with a lot more color this year. I've got some exciting things up my sleeve. So if you want to stick around, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next one. All right. Love you. Bye.